Good evening, I'm Tiro, and this is developer notes for Project Pius. Okay, no polytheism, no animism. This is to avoid appearances from people like Thor or Isis or Amaterasu or Shiva, just to keep the game simple. We will not see Ted Nugent or the man upstairs at all in this game, ever. We will not have a plot where the established religion, organization, church, government is actually founded by a demon thousands of years ago and this is all a lie. No ninjas, no assassins, no poisoners, witches, warlocks, or any other emo characters and such. Basically, we're going to avoid the black and white fable trap, and but also we're not going to have like dark classes like in Seiken Densu 3. Absentee religion. Basically, this is going to be like in television and how children go to school but they don't talk about their classes. Same thing here. It's kind of almost like in Seiken Densu 3. Some of the classes are religious, but it's never addressed. It just is. And we're not going to use specifics in this game, so instead of saying like heroin, we're going to say bananas. Again, to avoid conflicts and stuff. Maybe to have a little tongue-in-cheek as well. Basic RPG world. I have absolutely no maps whatsoever of it. There won't be any ancient technology or civilizations. If there is ancient civilization, it's going to be based off of the Roman Empire. So we're going to discover, indoor plumbing rather than a giant mega laser. For implementation, the game is going to probably be a hub system. In other words, it's going to be like Super Mario Bros. 3 in that each world is separate, as opposed to Super Mario World where the whole thing is continuous. This is just to keep my brain from frying as I design or implement the map, because those can get huge. Okay, story. I really don't have one. It's just collect X objects and then kill the big bad at the end. It's following the saga style of miniature adventures all tied together in this kind of overarching plot. I really don't have a plot. I don't care about it because unless I get a good battle engine, everything is pointless. In other words, if I cared about story, I would actually be writing fan fiction instead of making a game. Okay, overall stuff, based off of Saga and Seiken Densu in that these are similar to mainstream games, but they have enough uniqueness to them that they stand alone. I want constant use of spiritual skills. I want it to be a quick, short game, a romp. Combat will be dealt with later. Town system, I know it sounds like it's gonna kind of fall into a simulation type games like Harvest Moon and stuff, but I don't know if I want to imitate or avoid it, or just see what comes up. It's in the works. Party and class system, I don't know, but more than likely. And I want permadeath to compensate for the horrific amount of godliness in this game. One thing I don't quite like about games is very seldom they give you all this stuff and you never use it. Maybe the Japanese like that type of thing, or I'm just missing something as a weird gamer. The gimmick for the game is piety. You gain piety by doing things, and you use piety in spiritual attacks or skills and such. The thing is, there's no cap to it. It's like money. You can always get more. This will cut out the sleeping at an inn to rest for mana or using ethers to raise it. So you may have to. The system needs to balance for that to work. Conversely, money will be useless because since we're dealing with spirituality, we really don't need giant swords. But let me put it this way, that orphanage is not going to build itself. Items, mostly more of the thing in that, keeping in with the older games, have a limited storage, just to compensate for the enormous amount of power I'm going to try to give the players. And also, I wish to avoid bloat, and I will, because I don't like how there's like 50 items for healing, all different by 5 points that you get in games like Earthbound or Opuna or stuff. But if I do fall into that trap, especially with complex systems, I'm going to make the item menu categorical, and by that I mean this. Why is it that magic... Basically, it's going to be like magic. Magic has its own menus for the different categories, so items are going to have the same thing to make it more useful. Because what's the point of having, North Wind and Garlic Wind and Bacchus Wine and Zor's Hammer and all this stuff when you don't know what they are, because it's all clumped together with your swords and potions and stuff. Okay, combat. 3 levels, physical and spiritual. Basically, those will be the normal random encounters outside of town, and here's the difference. Woodland Chipmunk, demonic possessed Woodland Chipmunk. You can end both battles by bashing them over the heads, which will be rather easy because they're chipmunks. However, naturally, if you exercise the chipmunk, that will be more difficult because you will have to be dealing with the actual demonic spirit, and this will net you greater piety. But I know there's a contradiction in that. In order to exercise, you have to use piety. So you're using piety to get more. Yeah. That is balancing and kinking out the system, which hopefully you guys will help me as game testers and stuff. Or brainstormers. Finally, there is social, in which you will go to town, or while you're inside town, you get to put on this little armor thingy. And that will net you random encounters from the people, because whenever a person's in trouble, they either call for mommy or the man upstairs. And so you're going to be harassed with, give me money, my poor mother is sick, can you help me cross the street, why is the grass green, why is the sky blue, that type of thing. Dealing with peoples in those scenarios will net you piety, more piety than in actual combat outside of town. This also goes to the idea that skills are going to have 2 effects, one in battle and one in the town, so that, let's say, Pray will get you hit points in battle, while Pray in town will make a person, feel better about themselves and then more than likely leave. Also in combat, I'm going to have it so that if enemies run away, you still get experience points, or I guess piety points and such. And you can always run away without too much worry about agility and stuff. Parties, I don't know. Having only one person will simplify coding the game very easily, making sure that it will actually have an ending, or actually be produced, but it's rather boring. Adding a partner will kind of spice things up, but you kind of get into the ultra simplicity of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I don't know if I add NCPs and that they come and go would add any benefit to it. More than likely, it'll be a full party system. I don't know the number of 5 to 6 characters. I do know that there will possibly be a class system. Please do not discuss it. There will be a separate video where you can throw out all your ideas. However, I want a recruitment system kind of like in Saga 1 or Final Fantasy Tactics, in which you can go to a place and get your party members, but you can also dismiss them. Depending on how you play the game, and with permadeath incorporated, we'll let you play around with that system. So, until next time, I'm Tiro, and have fun making games. See ya!